it. You know, they are obviously playing a team that was very experienced in this tournament. Even though it's Aruba's first game at this event, they've been on the big stage before. They've been to Williamsport. They know what this event is like. Their coaches know kind of how to manage the pitching, and they know how to navigate the game. This is going to be a really, really interesting matchup.
So we saw several pitchers for South Korea in yesterday's game. Seo-ha Kim will begin on the mound as Aruba, the away team, has the bats in their hands first. And Ryan Feliciano, the shortstop, gets things started. Then their pitcher, Anthony Santos Garcia, also due up Diliano Robin. So continuous batting order. Again, everyone will hit for this team. And for Aruba, they have 13 batters in their lineup. Mentioned Seo-ha Kim, the pitcher. Favorite thing about playing Little League, hitting home runs, striking out batters. Couple of home runs for South Korea yesterday, 4 strikeouts for the South Korean pitching staff yesterday. So Kim's got a chance to do a little bit of both in this game. First pitch struck by Feliciano. And out of play foul, we're underway.
Yeah, typically swinging at the first pitch of the game lets you know that this team is not intimidated by the moment.
Kim, a slow, deliberate wind, and gets a swing and miss. Oh, and 2, booped into the air, center field a run in for it, and a diving grab. Catch pulled in by Seung-hyun Moon.
Yeah, what a tremendous play right there. Really tough read from a center fielder. Ball got in on the hitter's hands a little bit there. Really well executed pitch right there, in on the batter's hands. Center fielder had to freeze right away. He couldn't really tell with the full swing. Does a tremendous job coming in, making a diving play. Great start for South Korea.
Saw Moon play several positions in the 10-0 victory for South Korea yesterday. He shined in all of them. And the first pitch swing and miss for Garcia. 0-1 count. Kim gets another wave and miss. It would be interesting, Kevin, to see how South Korea approaches the pitcher management today as opposed to yesterday. Kept every pitcher they had yesterday within that 20-pitch threshold, as it's another swing and a miss, 3 pitches and a strikeout of Garcia.
Yeah, really good use of that breaking ball right there. Just starts it up in the zone over the middle of play, is able to get a swing and miss. Very interesting, too. First batter, he went all fastball. Second batter, he went all off-speed pitch.
Diliano Robin swings and tips it. So an 0-1 on the off-speed.
Yeah, to answer your question, looking through the rules, even if a pitcher is able to come back today because they only went up to that 20-pitch threshold, they can't pitch 3 consecutive days. And the winner of this game does get a day off tomorrow, so I would expect them to be a little bit more aggressive with their pitching, allow them to go a little bit deeper into. Yeah, I was just going to say, really important for Aruba to try to make South Korea earn their way on base. We saw how aggressive they could be stealing bases yesterday. Just a 4-seam fastball, releases a little bit early, gets away from him. Great job by a South Korean batter, turn his head away. We saw a couple pitches kind of up and in. We talked about the bat kind of being exposed. You don't want to have a foul ball when the ball's coming in. Really good job getting the bat down, turning his back. On base, I would expect South Korea to be super aggressive running the bases.
First pitch swinging, little dribbler to shortstop, flipped up to second. It can't be squeezed, so everybody's safe. They're at first and second. So Feliciana starts the double play attempt there, and Robin just couldn't squeeze it for the first of potentially 2 outs.
Yeah, second baseman right there just tried to go a little quick. He knew that they potentially had a double play. The speed of the ball from up here didn't feel like they were going to have a chance at turn 2. In that situation, you got to make sure you get 1 out at second base. If you're able to get the second out at first base, that's a bonus.
Now it's Seo Hakim, the pitcher, looking to help his own cause, swinging away and fouling it away.
Yeah, early test for Aruba. I know this team's been battle tested before, playing in Williamsport, a lot of the same kids coming back. New tournament, new environment. We've seen what South Korea is able to do in this tournament already. Big situation here in the first inning.
1-1. And Kim brushed off of the plate, 2 balls, 1 strike. Nice pitch, grabs the outside corner to make it 2-2.
Yeah, really good adjustment, not only by the pitcher but the catcher too. You're missing a ton of times to the arm side, meaning close to the right-handed batter. The catcher set up down and away, is able to get the pitcher to get extended coming down the mound. Really well executed pitch.
Time called for by Kim, and it's granted at the batter's box. So we'll reset with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. A little bit of dancing by Cho out there at second base, and a close take outside brings the count full. The 3-2. And it's a strikeout for the first away.
That's a big time pitch right there. We talked about missing up and into the righty, getting that arm side down and away strike. Really good adjustment by the pitcher right there, and a much needed out here in the first inning.
Now it's Hyunjin Kim, the catcher, who homered yesterday for South Korea.
Not only did we see him homer, we saw him have some really good at-bats. We saw him foul off like 5, 6, 7 consecutive pitches. He had a runner at first base that just continually tried to steal during that time as well.
There goes the runner Cho from second, and it's popped out foul ground and out of play. So there he goes again, making his teammate retreat back to the base they took off from.
Yeah, there's something about when Kim's batting that his teammates just want to run. Maybe they know he's got incredible hand-eye coordination, bat-to-ball skills. They feel confident that he's going to put a ball in play.
And we saw South Korea do this all day yesterday. Now you're forcing Aruba's defense to think about it and consider other elements on the field other than Kim's bat, which is a big one.
Yeah, even if you don't run, which he did run on the first pitch, but him being out there just being a threat to steal, maybe keeping the shortstop or second baseman a little bit closer, getting the pitcher's attention, it makes it even more difficult to defend your position, but it also makes it harder for a pitcher to consistently throw strikes.
Kim lays off. He's got 3-1, or 2-1, excuse me.
You can see right there the quickness that he is. He's trying to keep the runner at second base. He's not allowing him to get into a high kind of late kick. He's rushing his delivery a little bit, which is causing the ball to miss up in the zone.
Big cut at it, and once again it's fouled out of play. So now 2 strikes on Kim, and as you've alluded to, he thrived in this situation yesterday. Leaves it up and in. A bounce of a throw on the money to get Chose trying to steal third. Isaac Arenz with a little hand cannon from behind the plate.
I think we're going to get a challenge here, but regardless, really good job with the adjustment right there. Setting up away, having to go across his body. Sometimes the one hop is the best way to get the ball there. Keeps the ball down. I think he's out. That was a really nice job by the catcher behind home plate. Very important, too, to kind of set the tone early that your catcher is able to throw some runners out, because we saw Australia's lack of being able to control the run game, and we saw South Korea really take advantage of it.
So this is going to shortly be under review. The call on the field is out at third base. And as we get another look at this, Kevin, how about we give some kudos to the third baseman, Liam Peña Caraballo, squeezing that on the hop and applying the tag where it was.
Yeah, really good job. As a third baseman, you are expecting the ball to probably get there in the air. Sometimes you get this short hop, this one hop. Does a really good job not only picking the hop, but applying the tag as well. Looks like the ball beats him there plenty of time. Does he get the tag down? To me, it looks like he got him. He does get that trail leg, so the front leg is able to extend and maybe get to the base, but it does look like he has contact with that back leg before the lead leg touches the base. I think the play is going to be confirmed on the field. But I know my opinion doesn't really matter. I think we have some people down the right field line that recent history shows that they're pretty accurate. I know we saw them not get the first challenge of the year right, the sign guys.
So this is a local staple. These are Livermore locals. They take time off every year to attend the Intermediate Baseball World Series here at Max Bear Park. And a running bit here is that they have themselves reviewed the play and give their determination. They all think it's out, but that is an unofficial ruling. So we still await the official ruling of the umpires. And another look at it. Caraballo squeezes the bounced throw, applies the tag. I mean, that seems to be applied well in time.
Yeah, I would imagine at the very least they say the play stands, but I would also anticipate them to say the call is confirmed. From everything we've seen during the replays, it looks like the glove is attached to that back leg before that lead leg is able to touch third base. But once again, I think this is not only getting the out at third base, eliminating a guy from getting to third base, kind of really set the tone that you have a catcher that's able to throw some runners out. We saw how aggressive South Korea was. I believe it was 10 stolen bases in only 5 innings yesterday. Sometimes you have to kind of set that early tone that, hey, you're not just going to run around the field on us. We have a catcher, we have a pitcher who's able to kind of keep the runners in check.
Okay, we see shedding of the headset. And the call stands. It's out. Sign guys, 1-for-1 on the day.
I got to get down there in between these games, talk to the sign guys. I'm curious to know, are they always all in agreement, or will we get different kind of results out there? I mean, I know
that's
there's
a good point. They have the
so I know
three
there's
signs.
3 of them.
Yeah.
I know there's 3 of them. So obviously majority rules in that situation, but I'd be curious to know if we're going to see 2 outs and a safe, or vice versa.
Called strike 3 on the following pitch, and just like that, what was at first a scary situation is evaded by Aruba.
Yeah, pretty exciting first inning. For South Korea, we got 9 consecutive strikes, 2 strikeouts. And for Aruba, hit batter, air at second base, throwing out a guy stealing third, and then a big strikeout right there with a little bit of kind of flair coming off the mound, a little bit of excitement. So I think we're in for a really, really exciting game.
It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the order for Aruba. Beginning with Emerson Mercado, who says his favorite player is Fernando Tatis Jr. Mercado, the right fielder for Aruba today. Kim's first pitch misses, up and in. called. Strike to even it up at 1-1. Into the air, center field. Moon tracking it back, shy of the track, reaches up and reels it in. That's a couple of plays made by the South Korea center fielder. One tracing up, and then that one running backward.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting right there. Really nice job by the center fielder. Getting that hand out so he understands where the fence is. We've seen him already earlier in this game come in and make a really good play. We've seen him go back. Really good center fielder out there.
We saw in the early game yesterday as well that sun cause issues for outfielders. No problem for Moon.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see the adjustment to it. I don't think all of them had sunglasses on yesterday, but you could see pretty much everyone in the field except for the third baseman have sunglasses. So I imagine the sun is over here. We saw some difficult plays these young athletes had to make yesterday battling the sun.
Two and one to Isaac Arends, the catcher. Out in front, rolls it over foul, 2-2.
Yeah, we heard a really nice rendition of the Aruban national anthem sung by some of the siblings, and I was asking you what language it was. So I looked it up, and Dutch is the primary language spoke in Aruba, as well as English and Spanish.
Tight take, but just a hair low. And it's a full count. Ball four. So after Kim did not throw a ball in the first inning, he walks Arends as Aruba's first base runner of the day.
Yeah, really good at bat right there. There were some close pitches right there. I love watching these young athletes compete. As they get a little bit deeper in the count, you could just see this attention to detail. The focus comes out. That was just really, really good back-to-back takes right there. Allows Aruba to get their first base runner.
Caden Frazier scoots out of the way. 1-0 the count to the first baseman. Quick throw over to first, but Arends the runner back on sort of a half dive. Contacted on the ground. This goes to short. Weird hop off the lip of the grass, and the throw gets away. Arends from first all the way to third, and they're at the corners for Aruba with one away.
Yeah, what started out as a pretty routine play towards the shortstop ended up taking a really bad hop right here off the lip of the grass. I don't know if the ball came off the bat a little funny, maybe off the end of the bat, but it had some interesting spin to it, which forced the shortstop to have to make a really difficult play right here. Great hustle down the line by the base runner, forcing an errant throw. Aruba's got first and third, one out with a chance to get on the scoreboard here.
That was the 20th pitch for Kim, so we saw this be the point at which pitching changes were made all throughout the game yesterday for South Korea. Again, as you alluded to earlier, that threshold doesn't really apply much today, assuming if you're South Korea, you're going to win the game because they would get tomorrow off.
Yeah, this is where the strategy from a manager perspective gets a little bit more challenging because you can never assume the idea that you're going to win. You're obviously playing the game to win, but in your mind, if you believe you're going to win this game, you can now kind of push into that 21 to 35 pitch range, knowing you have tomorrow off, which would have to be your scheduled off day anyway, but also due to the fact that they can't pitch 3 consecutive days anyway, there'll be some interesting decisions.
So as a reminder, if you throw 20 pitches or fewer in an outing, you are not required to rest a day. 21 to 35 requires a day of rest, which the winner of this game would get anyway. And regardless of number of pitches thrown, you're not allowed to throw 3 days in a row as a pitcher. Meanwhile, something going on with Young-in Cho, the South Korea shortstop. So a delay in the action as he gets
looks like he's pointed something on his leg here, and like I said, the initial play seemed to be very routine, but the spin of the ball and where it hit the cut of the grass made the shortstop to have to kind of contort his body a little bit.
Yeah, and I think the spin was funky on that, yeah.
The way he had to kind of circle around that ball last minute, I'm not sure if he tweaked something in his leg a little bit. But things like this typically take a little bit longer at an event like this. We're talking about a team from South Korea. We're talking about a team from Aruba. We're talking about umpires from all over the globe. There's a language barrier. There's a lot of moving parts. You know, you have a lot of different young athletes that play all the positions on the diamond. You got, you know, pitching thresholds. There's just a lot going on. Or this could be about the tear in the back of his pants. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so a lot of moving parts. We saw Ji-Hoon Shin, one of the extra hitters. Oh, there we go. That is a rip in the back of his pants.
Yeah, I saw it on the replay. I don't know if